This says 23 recap.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Here. Hey, can you hear us? Trying to fix a technical difficulty. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. I think I got that taken care of. Well, today, dear, I just want to recap our 2023. We did a lot of stuff, and we want to talk about it and potentially answer any questions.
So which one are you going to use? Are you going to use that one or are you going to use this one?
With this one, if I click on it, it'll pop up. So it is. Oops, you see it?
Um, my glasses are prescription. I ordered them with the prescription. Um, I think the website company is called Zelu. Is Zeeelool. Um, it depends on what you need. The cost goes up depending on what type of prescription you have, what type of frames you want. Um, let's see if they are standard, if you need a bifocal or any type like a bifocal, trifocal, if you want transitioning, polarized lens, all of that would change the cost of your glass, how much your glasses will cost.
And if you got a really big head like me, it might cost a little more. It's a little extra material. So it is a day before. No, what is
No,
today? Today's Friday, right?
today
Oh
is
my goodness.
Friday. We have two
New,
days before New Year's Eve,
yeah.
and it was about this time last year. And we have so many people that have come to Salinas to celebrate New Year. So
Yeah.
it's been really busy around here. The grocery stores definitely has been
Packed.
packed.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely packed. There's a lot of people in town to enjoy the weekend. We weren't actually sure if the weather was going to cooperate which is odd to say around here because it rained a couple times this week, like Christmas Eve night or Christmas Day, early in the morning.
Yes,
Yeah,
Christmas Day.
and then another day it rained. It rained, pretty decent amount. But weather's been beautiful today, last couple days, and we'll see how that pans out for the weekend. But we a year ago on New Year's Eve, yeah, and New Year's Day we did a live stream. But last year, for anyone who's not familiar with like Ecuadorian traditions, um, we had a chance to see, and there were a lot of people dressed in white. It's like a tradition. People burning manicotes at midnight. That's a big tradition around here. I thought about buying one. I don't know. I bought one last year. I may buy one this year. I don't know if I'm going to go out in the crowd this year. It was actually pretty fun. Nothing crazy happened. It was just a bunch of people having a great time. They closed the traffic on the street that we live on the beach. So just people on foot having a good time. Vendors selling
Everything.
carnival food and all kinds of other stuff, and just kids, just having a great time. So we're actually kind of looking forward to New Year's Eve, just to see it, and especially from our balcony, you can see kind of a really good view of the city, and
All the fireworks.
Fireworks are incredible. It had to be like a 30 straight minute stretch at midnight where fireworks were going off because we were in the front at
Yes.
midnight, and of course we saw a ton of fireworks. We walked back home, went upstairs, and they
It
were
was
still
still-
going off in the back. It was kind of insane.
But it was nice to see. It was a great experience.
So yeah, looking forward to that one again. Then one of the next videos we did in January, we were talking about beaches here in Salinas, and I think we started. Right. Yeah, we started right here on Salinas, the main beach here, and then we went up to Chipipe. So since our last video, we have a new mayor, and he has made a lot of attempts to kind of fix up the areas of the city where people are coming to spend money. So like the beach and fixing a lot of the roads and stuff, a lot of potholes, and done some beautification on the Malecon because of course, a lot of people here may or may not actually like for him to kind of just completely redo the Malecon. It could do within like an upgrade, but until then, at the very least, he is making it look better. Added another staircase down to the beach because there's a point it kind of gradually slopes up the road, and there's a point where it's like at least 10 or 12 foot drop from the sidewalk to the beach. So yeah, replacing it, would be a little expensive, but he is having it redone, painted. They've trimmed some of the trees, some of the palm trees out there.
That were dead,
Yeah.
and they re-cemented some of the
Some of the sidewalk.
sidewalk. So, little things make a difference. So,
Yeah. And that's all we can ask for, honestly. So we do plan to at least visit some more beaches. One of these soon enough. I don't know. We're actually currently waiting on our new visa. So once we get those, we'll have a better idea of what we're gonna be doing exactly. Just because we don't know when we're gonna have to get up and go to maybe Guayaquil or something to get our stuff done. Also in January, LaShawn had the pleasure of speaking with Randy Poindexter about coping with loss. She's dealt with loss twice here in Ecuador, that I can remember, and felt like that would be just a good resource for for people who've been through something similar, because she's not the only one, and coping with loss, especially if you're away from home, away from your family, and dealing with a loss. So Randy was gracious enough to grant us that access into her
Yeah,
into her story.
and Randy is another person that's a helpful resource and is has a wealth of knowledge about what goes on here in Salinas. So yes, we did really appreciate her doing a video with us.
Yeah, we got some more interviews coming up. So, B, if you're still there, I know you were wanting to see Stephanie. I did plan to like get Stephanie back in the video, but the next video we did last January was with her husband Kenneth, and Kenneth has a unique perspective when it comes to some of the expats that we've met, and basically like him being a young black guy who's married to an Ecuadorian who was also in the United States. It's just a unique situation for him, and them living here, want to get his perspective and how life is different for a guy like him because a guy his age is living a completely different life for the most part in the United States. But he told us a few stories about like weird looks he gets and how he gets treated different but not bad, and I can relate to some of that stuff. But Kenneth's a cool guy. Kenneth's a cool guy. And if you get a chance, go back and watch some of that video because uh, he has some really great points about being who he is in this country. Thanks. The last video we did in January was with April Yarborough from the Yarboroughs. Shout out. If y'all see this, shout out April. LaShawn had a great conversation with her. And that was after we had done two videos with them previously, I think in December. Or no, might have been like September, November, something like that. But great people, great YouTube channel. Please check them out, support them. They're kind of like the template almost for us. They're a little more more nomadic than we are, obviously, but still a lot of similarities. And it was a great time meeting them. And then LaShawn's conversation. I don't even remember what y'all talked about, honestly.
We were talking about her being a nomad and traveling all over the world. So yeah, it was an awesome conversation, and me being a black woman and we were talking about hair, it is hard to find, hair products for women of color, black women especially. But we manage, and that's, one of the things we were talking about.
Yeah. We had a chance to, in February, talk to our friend Terry. Um, Terry she was living in Monta. I don't know if she still lives there.
Yes.
Okay.
Terry's still in Monta.
And just talking about her journey from Atlanta to Ecuador.
And being a single woman traveling or living abroad.
Yeah.
And she is a singer. She does some concerts, and I think she had one recently, probably last week, that she did in Monta. She had a group of people go out and support her. Terry is a wealth of knowledge as well, and it was a great conversation I had with her as well, especially living abroad as a black woman and how she feels living in Monta versus living in the U.S. But yeah, it was a great conversation.
Yeah. We'll have to get her back soon.
We did a lot on one of the things we were talking about is whether or not we should continue renting and looking at our budget from when we first came here to our current situation, and it hadn't changed much, right?
Yeah. I think we've gotten better. Like budget stuff, I think that,
Well, that was our first year, so we were going to
yeah.
eat out more, and now we don't eat out as much.
Yeah, no, we don't. And I honestly think that, like, we've just, we've narrowed down the things that we buy and don't, and things that we eat and stuff like that so much that we honestly are spending, like, I don't want, it's not a significant number, but, difference in like $100 or $200, it adds up. And I really think that we've just kind of dropped down to, like, just kind of like the bare essentials when it comes to the stuff we want. And there's a few things that we, a few vices we have or whatever. But yeah, like, we've just gotten so kind of like into a groove where it's second nature now. We're not even thinking about it.
And we put up a video that we had bought a scooter.
Yep.
Yeah, so the scooter has been very helpful.
Clutch. I'm telling you, love it, love it. I don't know why. Well, no, I do know why you don't see as many electric scooters in the United States. It'll just be dangerous to be on the road. The traffic here is crazy, but they don't really drive that fast in comparison. Because, like, there's almost no street that's 45 miles an hour. It might say 40 kilometers or 70 or 90 kilometers, but, you'll rarely see a street that anyone can legally go over like 45.
Well, on occasion.
No, you'll see people.
You get some outsiders that'll come in and, like, where are you going?
Yeah.
So.
But that scooter has gotten us so many places, just locally, where we might not have walked because it was just too hot or just too inconvenient or whatever. We needed something in a hurry. Like, I'll run to the store, or, we take it up the mountain. Wait, we tested it out. We're like, man, can this thing get us up a mountain? And it did, up a little zigzag road, and it made it just fine. But that's.
But if it would have been any higher.
Yeah, if it was any steeper, like maybe one more degree, yeah, she might have struggled a bit. Agent Grateful, thank you. Happy New Year, family, to you as well. We still would like to talk to y'all again at some point. Maybe after y'all have done, rolling over your second year or whatever. Get your perspective after being in Mexico for a while. And Henry King, Happy New Year as well. Glad you were able to join us. Yeah, money. We talked about money. Oh, the food comparison last year in February. And we were talking about, like, the price of food here versus United States and how different it is. I'm not the type of person that notices a lot at the grocery store when prices change. She does. The only thing I really notice is the one thing I probably eat the most, which is eggs. And, like, today we bought some eggs, and she was like, oh my goodness. So we could have bought them from a guy for a lot cheaper, but we were at the store, so I was like, okay, let me get 30 eggs. I have noticed that the eggs have creeped up a little bit. Where I used to be able to get 30 for, like, it was like $5.50 or something like that, or this is at the grocery store, not like if you go to the Mercado, it might be like $3.50. But yeah, today it was $6.02. I noticed that because I eat a lot of eggs. But otherwise, have you noticed really, like, prices change? The peanut butter went down, which was crazy.
I wouldn't know about the peanut butter.
I know about that.
But some prices on the meats have increased a little bit. I don't know if it's just the day we go on, because sometimes, if you have more people come on that day, they raise the prices, and it could be cheaper other days during the week.
Yeah.
Not sure, but I have noticed that some of the meats have gone up, especially the chicken wings. The
Yeah.
chicken wings definitely has gone up, and that's not just a particular day. They just they cost more. Um, the ground beef is pretty much the same, but other than that, like if you want to buy lettuce, tomatoes, carrots, all of those things are still the same.
Right.
And you can also get those from the Mercado.
Right. Yeah, fatality rate would be kind of high on those scooters in the United States. I wouldn't do it. Now, if you lived in like a enclosed community, like a small community where you kind of just walk everywhere, yeah, that scooter would be nice. That scooter would be nice. But anywhere else in the state, you want to go on the road, nah, I don't do it. Ah, thank you. Whenever you're ready, we owe you one. And anyone here, check out Agent Grateful's channel. It's awesome. If you want to know about living in Mexico. Our process is basically, it's basically done. I think
But
we
we
just have to
didn't
wait
get through the
for.
U.S. Department. We went
Yeah.
through Gringo visas. We used them last time when we first came.
Yeah. Um, there's a video on our channel, two videos actually, with Mate Duran, and she can explain the new process. So you can watch that video. She explains the new process, and her information's there if you're looking at that.
Yeah, because there has been some updates
Yeah,
as of it starts January of this year.
I think so. Yeah.
When what is it?
It was the new cost of living increase or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it takes effect. Which that kind of trickles down and affects everything. Yolks are orange, yes. Pastured, I don't think so. That's a good question.
I don't think so.
I don't think so because and like I'm not a farmer, and B, I know you had like some animals and stuff. So you tell me if you normally see like not the little dot, because I know when I was growing up, you always see the little red dot in the eggs, where like the embryo starts to grow. If it's an unfertilized egg, is that not there? I can't remember. But anyway,
But it has been in
you
some
see
of
them
these,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, you see them here is what I'm saying. And I know they don't like wash the eggs like the U.S. That's why you're able to leave them out.
Yeah,
on the
because
counter.
you'll get some. They got feathers all over it.
Chicken poop or something. I don't know. That's everywhere. That's the store, Mercado, anywhere you get them. They treat them the same. Oops, sorry. Praying for New Year's. Yes. You
Yes.
want to talk about that? Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of people here in the city. When we look down, we can tell without even going downstairs if it's crowded, just by looking at the amount of traffic from our balcony.
And not only that, we went to the mall today.
Yeah.
I wanted to find a couple of items, and oh my God, I forgot. It was absolutely packed.
Yeah, it was packed in there. And this ain't the biggest mall, y'all. So like
It's the only mall.
It's the only one. That's what I'm saying. It's not huge. And it's the only one. So yeah, it was crowded. The streets are crowded. The Malecon is really busy, and I haven't been out there since this afternoon. But even then, it was exceptionally
Everywhere
busy.
is crowded. The grocery stores, the mall. I'm pretty sure restaurants are getting a lot of business
Hopefully, yeah.
today, and hopefully do this weekend.
Yeah. We were on a scooter. No price. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead.
this time last year, we had a lot of rain.
Yeah, February especially.
Yeah,
January, February.
we had a lot of rain, so we don't know. That may happen again, because we had rain, like Steve said previously, on Christmas morning and the day after.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't rain heavily, but it was more as what spritzing, as you call it.
Spitting. Um, and it was humid. It was. We were right here on the ocean, but you don't really feel the humidity. But when it rains like that, it gets sticky, it's almost annoying, But it went like by that evening, it was back to normal and nice and cool, nice cool breeze.
So last year we had a lot of flooding that we had not seen, which was great because it allowed us to see different areas that flood. So if we ever decided we wanted to rent another place, we know now what places not to rent.
Yeah, we could look down from here and see, like, oh man, we were gonna check out a place in that building, or we might have already looked at a place in that building, and I was like, oh nope, you need a boat right now in front of that building. So no, never mind. One thing that the city's done though is open the floodgates in heavy rains because they hadn't used them for a while for whatever reason. Actually, I forgot what the reason was, but I did see them like kind of cleaning the drains out, and then they opened the floodgates, and it was after about a kind of almost maybe a month of like that constant rain. They opened them, and then all of a sudden there was no more flooding, and if there was, it would go away in like a few minutes.
Yeah, and then the trees bloom. We had a lot of grass.
Yeah,
we had
it was
green.
nice.
It wasn't that dull brown grayish leaves that we had been seeing, and the grass was not looking like it was burnt.
Yeah.
It was very lush.
Yeah. If you live in any like semi-arid location, you know what we're saying. It's like everything. There's a tint of green, but it's kind of brown, and then everything just turned bright green last year. That was the one great thing about the rain. Yeah.
So we may get some more. We did hear we may have king tides.
Yeah,
again
this weekend.
Yeah,
I probably should go out there and look. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, those tides are crazy.
But did you hear about the tide in California?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, because that would like affect the holiday celebration on the beach because they light bonfires all the way down the beach, so for people to burn the monegotes. And if the king tide's going on there, it's like high tide. There's no way you could even stand down there on the beach. You'd have to be on the street. Well,
not at the moment. No travel plans so far. We're still working on, like, we're waiting to get our visa, so we haven't planned anything just because we want to be here and ready for when we get our paperwork completed.
We're preparing to plan for some trips. There's something that we would like to do. There's some things we'd like to do this year, but we just don't know when we'll be able to schedule it. So that's why we just haven't scheduled anything. By now, we probably would have had something scheduled.
Oh yeah, I've probably been somewhere.
Yeah, but that's all. We're just waiting on our paperwork, and once we get our stuff done, then we're definitely gonna hit y'all up with some trips or something. Okay. Oh, in March of 2023, you had a special guest, dear.
Oh yes, my friend came to visit us from Las Vegas, and it was definitely a surprise, and I was so excited to see her. And she said she will be back. She fell in love with Ecuador as well. And so I interviewed her while she was here, and it was amazing, especially when we were talking about those crab nails.
Crab nails. Oh, my goodness.
Those crab nails was amazing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The crab nail, and here's the thing, I hadn't even had them. It was like she was so ecstatic about it, and then her friend was so ecstatic. And then she had another friend that came, and she was kind of crazy about it. But if you want to see that video, that was March 19th. So you can go back and check some of the fun times we had with her best friend. We had a chance to talk to a cafe owner in March named Guapa. She lives kind of, a few blocks from us. She has a little restaurant that she opens up every once in a while. And she opens up on Sunday for
brunch.
And it's almost like a buffet.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Great. She's a great chef. and just a great person. And when you go in there, it's almost like going into somebody's house.
Yes,
And
she's wonderful. The food is wonderful. So, yeah, shout out to Guapa.
yeah. She doesn't speak English, but we had a translator there, our friend B, and that video was in last. That was
But
last
she
March.
tries. She really
Oh,
tries,
she does,
and
yes.
she'll slow down so you can understand what she's saying. We catch it every now and then, but sometimes like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I need a translator.
And and just like a lot of Ecuadorians who are trying to learn a little English, they're so excited when they get something right. It is the greatest thing, I'm telling you.
I'll be so excited when I get it
Oh
right.
yeah, just like us. We're so excited we get something right, but like they're so excited when they get English right. Like it's really amazing.
You'd be proud of yourself. You're
Yeah.
like, I actually got that right.
Back in April, beginning of April, we made a video about our first year here in Ecuador. What I can say, I guess, so that was April. Yeah. The first year, we kind of did a lot. We did a lot. And I think, of course, we learned a lot about the country. We learned a lot about our habits, what we're going to do while we're here, and how we're going to keep ourselves busy. And I think by that first year, we kind of had it, we almost had it figured out, I guess, that we just got the scooter recently, and I guess we kind of had it figured out. And at that point, we knew, like, okay, well, there are other places that we want to visit. It's going to take some time. We got plenty of time. It's not really that big an issue. But yeah, so far, we're still here. It's coming up on our second year in a few months. And then, yeah, so that was April. Also in April, of course, Easter. Easter's a huge holiday here. We made a video about the Easter weekend here in Salinas and, in Ecuador in general. When it comes to, like, people here, I think it's probably New Year's, Carnival, and then, or maybe Carnival, New Year's, and then Easter.
About what?
For, like, the busy weekends here.
No, Christmas. You gonna forget Christmas?
Oh yeah, Christmas. Yeah.
They have the parade. They have 2 parades.
Yeah, but Easter was kind of that weekend. Easter, it's packed here in Easter, and it's the end of the season. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the end of the good season.
Because the kids are going back to school.
Yeah.
So they all come and try to get that last little bit of beach time
right
before they go back.
We didn't really mention that the weather. I'm pretty sure I mentioned in some video, but like the weather this year has been kind of weird because of the El Nino, and our winter
was beautiful.
Was beautiful. Like it was, yeah.
There was not a cloudy day.
I think for a month straight there was like a no cloudy day.
No cloudy day. Because I know last year before we left, I was kind of getting into that depressed state before we went to Bali.
Oh yeah, because you hadn't seen any sun for like 5 months.
I don't think it was 5 months.
No, it was
like
months.
3 months.
Yeah, it was a few months.
But it was pretty depressing, and so this time go around, beautiful.
Yeah.
But now in the last couple of days, it's been kind of cloudy.
Yeah, it's been back,
so it's like going
off
backwards.
and on cloudy. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, our season's backwards this year. But I guess that's why there's like a shortage of rain. Cause kind of a drought. There's a bunch of stuff going on because of the El Nino.
Yeah, and we've been experiencing
blackouts. The rolling blackouts. Yeah, because there's just a lack of rain in the Amazon where they generate the power. So it's similar things going on, other areas like Panama. When we were in Panama, same thing was happening. So hopefully that gets straightened out soon enough. But they'll send out a schedule. It's not always exactly right. But for us, for the most part, where we live, it's mostly been right.
Yeah.
I got a chance to talk to my buddy Will from Pan Amazing Tours. You can check his website, his YouTube channel out, Pan Amazing Tours. If you're interested in Panama, if you want to do a tour in Panama, he'll do like just regular tours or tours for people who want to move there. Wealth of knowledge about Panama and if you want to immigrate there. Panama was actually like our first choice when we first started talking about moving abroad. but we ended up changing our mind. So yeah, if you go back in April of 23, those we did our first two videos with Mate Duran from Gringo Visas, and that was the at that time current information about the visa process. Um, Once we heard about an update, I forgot how many months later it was, but
We scheduled an
yeah,
interview.
we
to
scheduled an
speak
interview with her to give you the updated 2024 information. So if you see those videos about immigrating to Ecuador, I think I changed the titles to kind of reflect that. I can't remember. But yeah, go to the more recent video with Mate, and it has some comprehensive things that have changed. You can also go back to the originals we did because she basically explains the process. The process itself hasn't changed. It's mostly the prices that are the biggest change.
Mm-hmm.
Hola, Jamie. No worries. We ain't in no hurry. We ain't going nowhere. Just know, don't go to Colombia. Your husband might get another wife over this.
I'm not worried about that.
Nah, me neither.
I'm not worried about that.
I can't deal with this one.
Okay.
So, give me 1 second. So yeah, we were just talking about the weather, right? And how it's weird this year. So this coming year, 2024, I want to really see if it goes back to like Ecuador normal. Because when we got here, they said that year was odd because remember it was cloudy like the whole winter.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, yeah, we'll usually be cloudy, but not like cloudy every day for a few months. And they said like people, pretty much everyone here said that was weird. Like then like the rain came at the beginning of the next year, and that was weird. And this past winter was really sunny. So I'm really anxious to see how this year turns out because I'm not sure how long the El Nino is supposed to last, and if everything kind of shifts and gets back to its normal, how things are supposed to be. So that'd be kind of cool to watch for. Well, here's the thing. And this is a rabbit hole, so I'm not gonna go down this rabbit hole, but if guys, and just speaking about the passport bros, not the sisters, if guys want to, leave the States to go find a wife or a girlfriend or whatever in another country because they struck out in the U.S. or for whatever reason they feel like that's, it's not the thing they want to do is have a woman in the U.S., then, if you can afford to do it, then, do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. The problem I have is like the guys who bring so much attention to it or bring such negative attention to it that it kind of puts all those guys in the same category. Like the only thing they got in common is that they left the United States to go to another country to maybe find a wife or whatever. But other than that, like you don't want to have the guys who are doing the most idiotic stuff be the people to represent the term passport bros, if that makes sense. So if you ask me what I think, hey, you can do whatever you want. If you can afford it, do you. Do you. Thank you.
No, not at the moment. Both of our children had a lot of stuff going on, and they still got a lot of going on. Our son, with things going on, he was having built on his property and working on some different projects. Also, with our daughter just having our third granddaughter, that would not be feasible for her. But I'm pretty sure in the future they will come and visit.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you got. We have a little month since April.
Did you have issue with altitude? I did when we got to Cuenca. Now, we took a bus ride there, so I'm not sure if that was a big impact on me having altitude sickness. And I also have vertigo, so it made it pretty bad the first day. The second day wasn't so bad for me because we did go out.
Yeah, you were able to get up and.
Yeah, we did go out and
Got you hydrated. That's the big thing.
I was. He bought me coffee and water, so one of those work, or they both work together. Because this for vertigo, they say you drink coffee and also hydrate. So I don't know how that works because coffee dehydrates you.
Cuenca is beautiful though. We definitely want to go back. I'm sorry, you don't click that. I won't do that bad. Besides, they're nice. Oh no, he's okay. He responded to another one. Go ahead, click that one. I'm sorry. For the passport bros, but just can't stand behind the ones that bash their own American women, moved to Chile and married a black Chilean. Yeah, see, like that's kind of how I feel about it. Is if you want to leave, don't put all American women in the same basket. Just like, we don't like if women think we're all the same. You know what I'm saying? So like, don't do that to them. If you want to leave and go, find a woman, fine, do that. You don't have to, talk trash on the way out the door. Because, let's be honest, there are a lot of good guys who have to leave the States. There's also some not so good guys that leave for the same reason. So maybe the reason that you can find someone in the States is that I'm not going to use that language. Maybe it's because you weren't the person. maybe it's your problem, not theirs, not the women. So yeah, do what you want if you can afford it.
From Pookies.
Oh. Yeah. If you're not ready for that lifestyle, like don't go by the whole social media thing. And you just out there trying to live your life, because one thing I've definitely heard is that if it's okay to go there, and if you want to find a woman, do whatever, that's fine. But don't go out there flexing on the other guys in that culture, because they ain't about to sit back and just, you're gonna come down here, you got more money than us, you're taking our women, and you're gonna flex on us. Like that's a problem. Oh well, thank you. I wish I could agree. Where are we at? I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, this one because
it'll pop up in a second.
Oh, well, I don't know how to get over there. You had you interviewed Henry.
Yeah, Henry Newman. He's from Africa, and we interviewed him back in, was that, May? Yeah, May 3rd. He's a very interesting person, and he teaches English here in Ecuador. So he came from Africa, didn't really speak Spanish, but he came to be a teacher, so to teach English. So he's learned Spanish. He's now fluent in Spanish, and he teaches it to I forgot what school he works at, but yeah, he teaches English here.
He teaches at Jefferson.
Oh yeah. So yeah, great person. Go back and check that video out if you want to see some information about people who want to come here to teach, because he talks about his struggle of kind of moving here by himself and learning Spanish so he could teach English. 41 single male, I must admit, Colombian ladies are out of this world pretty. Ladies, don't get jealous. You're awesome.
I'm very secure with myself, so I'm not going to be jealous.
Very careful to go to Colombia. I would rather go with a companion. Maybe I would with my friends or girlfriend, not myself alone. Yeah, if it's your first time, I'd definitely not go alone. You know, unless there's some people out there that are really adventurous and then do stuff like that. Um, and at the very least, like know someone there, if possible, know someone there to show you around and make things easier. Because it's a culture shock if you've never gone to like a South American country from the United States. You know, you think you might be like, oh, I've been to Mexico. Nah, it's not the same. It's not quite the same. There's some similarities, but it's not quite the same. Like I think stop signs don't even say the same thing in Mexico and like Ecuador. So just know that, yeah, or like for rent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just know that you're in a different climate, and especially if you're by yourself, because you know it's always assumes one thing we always say is always assume somebody's watching you, and like, if you're out there flexing, you know, and flaunting and stealing women, you might get some attention you don't want.
I don't know.
It takes a second to populate. Jamie said men need to be careful when clubbing. Yeah, absolutely. Because LaShawn knows me. I ain't clubbing type anyway. Here's the thing. Even if I was single, I wouldn't be at the club. That's my personality. But if that's something you want to do, you know, make sure you're doing it at least at the most established places. You know, I wouldn't go to some hole in the wall club in Colombia if I was y'all. That's just me. I wouldn't do that in the States. So, yeah, I wouldn't do that here. Or Colombia. We, of course, as always, watch a bunch of movies. We talked about a couple. We talked about Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. One of the greatest old movies ever.
We're not talking about no Breaking.
We're not going to talk about
No,
Breaking.
please don't.
But we also talked to H&D from H&D Abroad. Hey, you just popped up.
Happy New Year.
Hola, Happy New Year.
Yeah, he just taught you up.
We talked to them about their transition. And shout out. Check out H&D Abroad's YouTube channel. I know they recently got over 1,000 subs. So, you know, let's get them some more. Let's get them to 9,999 because I want to get to 10,000 first. But anyway, yeah, much success to y'all. So thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. So yeah, we talked to them though about their transition, getting ready to leave the States and go to Mexico. When we talked to them back in May, was that May or June? May 13th. Yeah, great conversation. If you're interested in, you know, the whole process of getting ready, I think because I think we can kind of agree the hardest thing about moving abroad is getting ready and just getting ready to move
and getting rid of everything that you've accumulated.
Yeah, there's all this stuff that you got to get rid of, and there's a lot of stuff that you have to do, you know, paperwork and all kinds of stuff you got to prepare. It's just annoying. But H&D have talked about that, and they've got guests every week. Excuse me, on their channel. They do 2 lives every week. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. But different interviews with different people for all kinds of different topics, y'all. Please check them out. Wealth of information and knowledge. And we're definitely gonna have to do another video with y'all.
So the next video we talked about was our trip to Paris.
Yeah, was it Paris or Italy? We went to Italy first. I'm sorry. Yeah, we went to Italy first, but we updated. We did an update video from Paris. So it was like 3 days after we got there, we went to Paris. And would you like to? You want to talk about our trip to Europe to begin with?
It was amazing. Yeah. It was absolutely amazing.
Twas.
It was what you see on, like, you see clips of Rome and Paris, but when you're there, it's a whole different experience. I mean, of course, because you're there.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, Rome was a little more. The scenery was a little unsightly because it was more dirty than it was in Paris. Because some people say Paris was dirty,
people
but
say
it wasn't.
Paris was dirty, and it was beautiful when we got there. I'm like, okay, I don't know what they saw. Maybe we just got here on the week that they cleaned.
Oh, we lived in a different part of Paris that they were not in, but it was beautiful. I have no complaints. The food was amazing.
Yeah.
Especially the desserts. Oh my
Yeah.
God, the desserts was amazing.
Yeah. And just not to mention that neither one of us had been to Europe. So that was our first trip. So, we learned a lot. The people were just so nice. Everybody speaks English.
I mean, it's a plus.
That's
but,
definitely a bonus.
Yeah.
It's our first time there. It's definitely a bonus that we could just kind of talk to anybody. The trip getting there was a hassle.
Oh my God, we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole, but
watch that video. We talked about that. That was a pain.
Yeah, they were trash.
Trash. Yeah, man, gotta watch their drinks in Colombia. Yes, Electric Boogaloo, the greatest sequel movie title of all
we're not
times.
talking about that. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
She
enjoyed it.
I did not enjoy it.
She's acting, y'all. She's acting.
Horrible movie.
Oh, Big Mike. While I was at the airport, Bogota, Colombia, I saw a group of passport bros. They were loud while everyone was quiet. Customs agent pulled them to the side and told them to go back to the States. I wish you had the power to do it. Yeah, you can't. Don't make it bad for everybody, y'all. You want to do it, fine. Just don't make it bad for everybody else. But we stayed in Rome, Italy. We had a suite booked there, and that place was the best. That hotel or residence or whatever it was called.
It wasn't a residence.
That was the one in Paris. That was the one in Paris. Oh my goodness, what was it called?
I don't know, but it was a nice suite that we was in, and it was perfectly located in Rome because we were near every restaurant.
Yeah, and most of the attractions we were pretty close to. And not that far from the train station either.
No, and Paris, it wasn't bad, just compared to the other place we were staying. It was rather small.
It was tiny.
But the location wasn't bad either because we could walk to a lot of places there as well. We could walk. We actually walked.
Yeah, we could walk in and out of the center. We could actually walk in and out from where we were. And then we went back to Italy. But while we were in Italy, we took the bullet train to Venice and Naples. Not Naples. Was it Naples?
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. Naples, where we had probably the best meal that we had in Italy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Was it? It was. Here's the thing: if it wasn't the best,
it was on there. Yeah. It was 1 through 5.
Maybe
it was in the top 5.
Her memory could be a little clouded from the wine. I don't know.
No.
That wine was great too.
It was, but no, that whole meal was great. It's in the top 5.
Yeah. And we went to Venice. Also, Venice was awesome. We got a chance to get on the gondola ride. Something that was on my little list. Check that one off. While we're in Paris, I checked off and a little thing I wanted to do, which was take a selfie in front of Eiffel Tower. Check. Because I didn't want to go up. I didn't really care. Neither one of us really cared about getting in line to go up. That didn't mean anything to us, honestly. But Paris is beautiful. At least 2 a week. Looking forward to collaborating again. Love your budget videos. Gracias. And that was 2 lives a week for anybody else who's watching.
And Bali was absolutely beautiful as well.
Yeah, Bali was great. I don't know. After we went to Europe, I can't remember if Bali was still my favorite trip.
It's one of. It
Yeah.
doesn't. I mean, it
I think
could be
only
one of your favorites.
yeah. I think the only problem we had with the trip to Europe was that we both got sick.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
I was sick when we left, and she was sick when we were coming back. But otherwise, it was great. It was great. But Bali was cool too. And you remember when we went to Bali, we came from here and not having seen the sun almost at all for like two or three. I forgot how many months it was. And we went to Bali and it was like raining and
but
sunny
it was
and
yeah.
yeah.
It
I mean
was,
like the storms in the middle of the day and then
but it was you would have a downpour and then immediately the sun would come out.
Yeah, and it was so refreshing just to have like different weather.
The greatest movie of all time is Goonies. I would say yeah.
No. No.
Better than whatever that you just,
Electric Boogaloo? Okay, Goonies is better than Electric Boogaloo.
Yes.
Like,
but not the greatest of all, not the greatest movie.
Don't get me going down a rabbit hole of movies.
But it's definitely better than Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
I don't even know why we even talking about Electric Boogaloo.
Hey.
Let's move on. Because
we talked about the Golden Child too on my other channel. It wasn't as good as we remembered it being. But it was still good.
Yeah.
Hey.
Happy New Year.
Well, hopefully,
definitely appreciate
we can
that.
blow up together. That's our child, y'all. That's our son, Too Easy Outdoors.
Has a great YouTube channel about hunting, fishing.
So yeah, if anyone here, if you're interested in that stuff, even in the least, just give it a click, give it a subscribe. Really appreciate it. He's over 1,000 subscribers also. So great luck to him. He's probably going to skyrocket one of these days, and I'm just a little jealous. Be a little jealous. A little jealous. It's okay though. Yeah, we did. We took the bullet train 3 times. Yeah, because we went to Naples twice.
Twice. We took the bullet train twice.
Why don't I feel like there's another city we went to that I can't remember?
I don't know. You must have went to it in your sleep because I don't remember that.
Yeah, that bullet train. We took the Italia train.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like
they need those everywhere.
I felt like I was in a. I don't know.
Just riding on a couch.
Yeah, a cradle. It was rocking me. Of course, I went to sleep on the first train.
It was like 140 miles an hour. He's like, oh. Yeah, so the longest one we took was exactly 4 hours from Rome to Venice, because Venice is like the northern part of Italy. But yeah, that was great actually. Those bullet trains. And of course, after we left Europe, we went back to the States and spent a month in the States. So we got to catch up with our family and stuff. Got to do some of the things that we needed. Shop for a few things that we needed. Realized that the prices in the States are ridiculous and
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. But it was good to see everybody. And we got a chance to go visit her friend that we interviewed earlier in the year in Las Vegas. It was hot. Very hot. We hadn't been used to that kind of heat.
No, Vegas heat is different.
Yeah.
It's dry heat and insane.
Yeah, nonstop. It's relentless. And so after we came back, we put out a video in July, the end of July, about some of the things that we missed. Because, we came back from the States, and there's going to be things that you miss about the place that you always lived. And, being in the States, you're like, oh, man, I see why I left. But at the same time, you're like, oh, wow, I wish this was in Ecuador. And there's so many things. You go back and look at the video, but there's so many things that are just different in the United States that you would really appreciate if you lived outside of the United States. So I ain't the one that's gonna be here bashing the U.S. I'm not gonna do it. A lot of stuff I miss. So okay, now we talking. I don't Italian Job never. No, I was never really into that movie.
I don't think I even
But
saw that.
that's the one with like Wahlberg, one of the Wahlbergs.
Shawshank,
Shawshank
Redemption.
Yes, I will watch that movie over and over.
And
he has love that movie.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
He has his favorites. Is Predator. It is what is it? Rambo. Oh my goodness. Rambo,
Commando, yeah.
Shawshank Redemption.
Aliens.
Soldier Story.
Yeah, Soldier Story, Aliens, yeah.
Yeah.
Terminator 2.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Don't get me started. I'll go down the whole rabbit hole of movies, y'all. You can check my other channel, Steve's MGT. That's all I have to do is talk about movies. But where were we? Oh, stuff we missed. So again, there's a lot of stuff that we really miss about the States. So,
and you had your interview with Ace.
Yep, GM Ace. If you can check out his channel, it's just GM Ace. He's an Ecuadorian young man, and he's got a great YouTube channel. He has so much knowledge. There's so many things. I'll go to his channel if there's something I'm looking for, like some information from someone who has a perspective of like an Ecuadorian and has some knowledge. Him and his dad especially. Great source of knowledge about Ecuador. So yeah, check out his channel, GM Ace. Okay, I give you the Italian Job. I think the Italian Job came out the same year as Matrix Reloaded, and that's why I didn't really care about it. Ah, okay. Predator's great. Yeah, I knew it was filmed in Mexico. I didn't know it was Puerto Vallarta. Well, can I borrow your glasses?
We are from Phoenix, but we find Monta to be a bit hot, probably because we walk everywhere versus having a car. We are shocked that being used to 115 with a car could compare to 85 without humidity.
Yeah. If you get in a place that's humid enough, it doesn't matter if it's only 80 degrees. It's just uncomfortable. Like, I can deal with heat. Growing up with humidity, kind of deal with it. But, like, I'd rather be hot and dry than just hot and sticky. Bali, for instance. Bali is, like, hot and sticky.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful, don't get me wrong. But coming from here, where it might get hot, but it's not sticky. And then going straight to Bali, it was like stepping into a sauna.
Mm-hmm.
Because we just hadn't felt it like that in a while.
Yeah, because I think when we got off the plane, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I was so tired.
Yeah, and we had come from the States like in August, because we went to Bali like in September. We had come from the States in August, and it was hot. Of course, it was hot in Virginia in August. But like that didn't compare to Bali. That was different. Was that the one you just clicked on? Yeah. In August of last year, we did a video thanking everyone for comments and just viewers and just sticking around with us for a while. Really appreciate it. We appreciate we get comments. I gotta get better with like doing posts and shorts and stuff. I want to be more regular like with the shorts because shorts do reach like a wide audience. So anyway, though, we really appreciate the viewers, the subscribers, people that keep coming back, new watchers and subscribers. We appreciate all of it.
And last year, I got to interview one of the students that worked in my office, Aaron. Mm-hmm. Aaron is a very talented artist. He makes draws beautiful what is the
portraits and paintings and yeah.
And he's living in Mexico.
Merida.
Let him say it.
Yeah, I can't even say it. Merida.
Merida?
Yeah, eastern, Mexico.
Yeah. We didn't know each of us had moved abroad, but he
Yeah,
had moved abroad before we moved to Ecuador, which, he was tired of the U.S. as well. But he's living and thriving in Mexico, so proud of him.
yeah. So you can check that video. That was what month was that? That was September of 23. If you go back and look for talented young artist video, you can. There's links to his website and his info. So if you're looking for artwork, graphic artwork, he does all that. Hit him up, support him. Great guy. And the next video we did, y'all, if you're still here, Agent Grateful, uh, loving life in Mexico, and giving us some more insight about Mexico because, of course, living anywhere when you decide to move abroad, we're not currently tied down to any particular place. So we wanted, of course, to get some perspective on living in Mexico because that may be an option that we take one of these days. So we wanted to talk to people who had that perspective, who had gone through it, and where they live, and get some insight. And of course, for any viewers who are watching, to get as much insight about Mexico because that is a place that a lot of people are checking out, moving. Mm-hmm. Even if not doing a permanent, they may be doing half a year, whatever. Just great having that knowledge about Mexico, and just great knowing people who live there so that we can talk to them. But Agent Grateful, I'm sorry, let me say this again. Check their channel. Check their channel. Let's get them to like 10,000 subscribers. I don't know. Let's go as high as we can. High as we can. Just support everybody, and check their videos out. A lot of great information. So groceries. In September, we posted a video about groceries here in Ecuador, and we had kind of put up some pictures of our receipts. Because here, if you give if you have like a card for the store, when you give them the information, they'll send you a receipt in the mail. They'll give you a receipt and they'll send you one in an email. I'm sorry, in an email they'll send you the receipt.
It's called a factura.
Yeah, factura. Yeah.
And you can compare. We compared what we would buy in the U.S. to Ecuador, and it was a huge difference.
Yeah.
In the vegetables, fruit, and even the meats.
Yeah. And that was strictly a grocery store trip that we made when we came back from Europe and the States. So our refrigerator and cabinets were like basically kind of empty. So we had to get a lot of stuff. So we did get a good comparison. Since we had to buy so much stuff at once, it was kind of good to get that comparison. There are, of course, some things that cost more here. But in the grocery store, like the vegetables and fruit that she's talking about, it actually costs more in the grocery store than it does at like the Mercado. But it's still cheaper than you get it in the States for some of the stuff. So check that video out if you want to know, like, grocery costs, because I know some people that's something that is like the first thing in their mind. How much is it going to cost me to go to the grocery store? How much is it going to cost me to eat?
Yeah, the cost of living here is nowhere. Is very reasonable.
Yeah.
At we did a video about joining the public health care here.
Yeah.
Which it has been pretty convenient.
Yeah.
You can go to a private doctor, and pay a copay, and go over your illnesses or ailments that you may have. Is very reasonable. Some cost between $25 and $40, depending on the specialty. But if you want to get health insurance here, the health insurance is about $100. I'll just say give or take.
And that's for like both of us.
For two people. Yeah. But the healthcare has been great, very helpful. Whenever I go, I do need a translator, so my friend goes with me and she translates. And some doctors do speak English.
Yeah.
But it's been great so far. There are no complaints. Now, understand when it's a public healthcare facility, expect the lines to be long. But if you get there in enough time, they tell you to get there 30 minutes early
Yeah.
because they do expect long lines. Sometimes you go in there, there's no one there.
Yeah.
Then other times, depending on if people are getting lab work is from 7 to 9 or 7
So
to 10.
9:30 or 10, something like that.
That can be from 7 to 11. They're trying to get all the people, but they cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to be in line. Be in line for lab work. If you're not going to be seen.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're very efficient when it comes to getting you in and out.
Yeah. I think the difference is, like, we've all had doctor's appointments in the States, and you go for whatever your appointment. Your appointments are like 3 or whatever. You don't see the doctor like 4:15. Think about that like in context here, because you might come in and see a line, and that line is long, and you're still only in that line maybe 20 minutes. So like in the States, you're not really standing in line to see a doctor or to get labs or do this stuff. You go sit down and they call you.
Okay, so here you stand in a line, you get a number. They're putting you in the system to whatever doctor you're going to see. If you're going to see a dentist, if you're going to an orthodontist, or you're going to have a general doctor or a family practitioner, they're putting you in the system. Mm-hmm. So once you get to the area that the doctor is in, they just call your name. Like your receptionist was downstairs or in the front, and when you get back there to have a seat, you have a seat, and then the doctor calls you. There's no nurse.
No.
There's no reception desk, and if you have to have your vitals, they'll send you check in, get your vitals done, in and out. They have about 4 or 5 people doing your vital signs, and then once you leave there, go straight to your doctor, and then you sit there, you talk to the doctor about whatever's going on. They listen to you, they check you out, and then you're leaving.
Yeah, it's really efficient, and for what it costs, you can get everything done. You get your medication, and that's the public one. If you do private, it's still really affordable.
Yeah, you just go to the pharmacy and pick up your medicine.
Yep. Oops. So they still got the setup. The jungle is a tour. So here's the thing. Now that I know the set is still there.
Oh my God! Why did you tell him that?
Now that I know the set is still there. Whenever we come to Puerto Vallarta, believe me, I'm going. I want to see if I'm able to like take a picture, like kind of hiding in a tree. Anyway, you'd have to take that picture for me.
No.
You would do this
No.
for me. Yes, you would. You can spend a ton of groceries if you want, or you can spend very little. So our can of Campbell's chicken and rice for $4.35.
That is about right.
Yeah, I was about to say you nailed it. We haven't bought canned soup at all. I don't think so. No. There's really no need, honestly, here, because you can go get a chicken soup for nothing, and it's delicious. And it'll come with rice and everything else.
You mean at a restaurant?
Like a little, but yeah, just a little small restaurant. You can go get one.
Oh, and you're talking about Amahueso.
Yeah. You get any Amahueso here. It'll usually come with like a chicken soup. It's great. But yeah, go back if you're interested in coming to Ecuador and you want to help. You need help signing up for IESS. It is a little confusing if you don't know what to do. So we actually walked through that whole process at the end of that video, and I separated that process itself into a separate video. So just look for like IESS sign up process if that's something you're looking for in Ecuador, because otherwise you need an Ecuadorian friend to help you out. We talked to Kwame and Jaretta. Jaretta. They live up on the coast here in Ecuador. Talked to them in October, and just talked about similarities that we have. There's some folks that we met through our channel. They reached out to us when we were in the process of leaving and after we got here, because they left not too long after us. And just, finding a couple, we're similar in age and like similar in habits. Habits. Hobbies.
What?
I want to say hobbies and I said hobbits.
I don't want to be a hobbit.
Similar habits. And it's just a real cool conversation. We'll call me and Jaretta. Forgive the sound in like the first, I think, 23 minutes of that video. I don't know why I can remember this number.
Because you were working on it.
It
That's
corrects.
why.
Yeah, I had to edit it. It corrects itself. So yeah, forgive the sound. It's a little weird at the beginning, but please check that out. They're a great couple living here in Ecuador. We had an election. That was in October. We got a new president, Daniel Noboa, and Guillermo Lasso was, kind of being kicked to the curb. And they're going to have another election. I think it's in like a year and a half or something like that. Because it's like an off schedule one that just happened this year. So he's going to have to run again, and we'll see how that works out. We were very glad to stop hearing the election loudspeaker things that will go around, with everyone who's running. Noise can be an issue here depending on who you are, but for us it's not really that big a deal. It just got annoying hearing the same song and speech every day on somebody's car riding by. So we were kind of glad that the election happened. 2024 visa requirements, we did that video in October, at the end of October with Mate. So that has the updated visa requirements for Ecuador for 2024. So check that video out. Her information's in there too. So we had November 1st, we posted a video about a fantastic meal we had. Chef Melina Garcia.
Yes.
Ooh, I hope I said that
Garcia
right.
Diaz.
Yeah, Melina Garcia Diaz. Check that video out. She had a 9-course meal at this restaurant. It's like a old hotel, and we're outside, and that was great. Every course was awesome. And I say 9-course meal. It wasn't like we weren't stuffing ourselves. Like smaller portions, but everything was just so good. Ecuadorian food, if you don't know, is very. There's a lot of traditional ingredients and stuff in their food, and she tried to mix new with old, and everything was, especially that shrimp, that prawn. I got to eat the whole thing. That was awesome. I want to do that again. She has a restaurant in Quito. So of course she invited us, and wherever we are in Quito again. So we definitely have to check her out. Yeah. Ecuador gets young peeps. Yes. Yes. And old ones too. And for LaShawn's wonderful and beautiful for his birthday, I think we said how old you were in that video.
It doesn't matter. I'm 51.
Okay.
Like, I'm not.
I didn't want to say.
okay.
Yeah, she turned 51 this year, and we went to Panama for her birthday. And of course, when we do stuff, there's always something going on. So the protests were going on in Panama and everything. There's a drought going on, but we still had a great time. If not just for the fact that it was when it came to shopping, we were able to do things that we would do in the States, but for way cheaper plane ticket. So it's so easy and convenient to get to Panama from here that if we just wanted to go shopping, we would definitely just go to Panama rather than go to the States. But Panama was really nice. The weather was great, and we got to see the canal and have some great food. We had 2 incredible meals in Panama at 2 restaurants. One we went to on her birthday. It was Lima Nike. I can remember the name of that one. Do you remember the other one? Okay. I guess I remember because I set that up.
Yes, you did.
That place was incredible. I'm telling you, Lima Nike in Panama City, I'm telling you, it was incredible. I left a review on Google. So if you find that restaurant on Google Maps, you'll see a picture of us at that restaurant. That's right. That's right. She got another 55 to go. Not even halfway there yet. What I meant is
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is young. He is young. Which
His wife is even younger. I think she's 10 years younger than he is.
I never even seen her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Daniel. So coming close to the end of the year here, we talked about our struggle with learning Spanish and how LaShawn is very diligent with trying to learn Spanish. I am not so diligent. But
and the crazy thing is, he can understand it more. I be practicing all the time, listening, watching Spanish soap operas, movies, and I'm sitting here like, why? I know words. I just can't. I can't grasp it.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Now sometimes. On the spot, it'll come to me, and I'll like, I'll say stuff, and I'm like, I surprised myself. But others, it's like a deer in headlights.
Yeah. Still a struggle for me. Like she said, there's certain occasions where she can pick up something better than I can, and then there's other ones where I might pick up better than she can.
But he can definitely speak it better than me. I have.
Please don't get it wrong. I still can't speak Spanish.
They can understand him.
That's because I'm making like signals. Yeah.
Mine is the English version of Spanish.
I told you, you just gotta kind of like imitate. It's like that's the best way for me. It's like it's not making fun to imitate. When I imitate, that's how I can say it correctly. So. Hey, Johnny.
Hola.
We haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? From California. It's okay if you're late. Oh, get language transfer. So great. I have to check it out. I didn't even know about it. I have to check that out. I just use my Duolingo like when I feel like it.
Or I use Google Translate when I can't say it.
Yeah, but Google Translate, of course, y'all probably know Google Translate does like regular Spanish. And here especially on the coast in Ecuador, like the way people talk is different than they do in the mountains and everything. And there's just a lot of words that just don't go. You know, you'll say that word from Google Translate, and someone here will not know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's another language.
Yeah.
So yeah, language transfer. I gotta remember that and check that out. But yeah, check that video out. I'm gonna see our struggle with Spanish.
So just a month ago, we went to a surfing competition here, and I think right before or around Thanksgiving for us Americans, because Ecuadorians don't celebrate Thanksgiving, a lot of events started that week.
Yeah.
And so they continued until
now. Yeah. There's been something going on like weekly, and sometimes multiple things like weekly here in Salinas. The mayor is he's really trying to do a lot to attract more business, more money. I mean, let's be real about it. It's a beach town. We want as much tourism and sharing of culture as possible. So the mayor is very diligent in getting a lot of things happen. So
and he's involved, and he's at all of these events.
Yeah, it's almost to the point where like we were in a situation where we were trying to record something that we really wanted to see, but there was something else going on that we really wanted to see, so we had to split up. That was the day of the paddleboard competition, and there was the street race for the.
No. You passed it. There was a surfing competition, and then they had a race.
Oh, the car race.
The car race.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it was two races.
Yeah, there was an actual car race, like actual like
sports car.
Like race cars.
Yeah.
And they kind of close off a bunch of streets back here, and you could see the race from here. It was awesome. It was awesome. But we had something else to do that day, so we couldn't really record it and go see it. And we didn't realize it was happening then.
No, we didn't, because a couple guys that were in our building went to get their cars, and I was like, okay. And then I saw them going to the so-called track behind us, and I was like, oh my God, they having a car race.
Yeah, and we had something scheduled that day, and she was like, I want to go. It was cool. So there's a lot. It's been hard to keep up with a lot of the stuff that's going on.
Yeah, and I think the week before, while we was in Panama, they had a vendor up and down along the Malecon, and they were selling all types of stuff, because I saw pictures of that.
Yeah. There's almost too much stuff for us to like keep up with. Language Transfer is a podcast. Okay. Yeah, I gotta check that out. Doing okay, trying to get there. Keep trying.
Yes, has been pretty exciting here.
Yeah, it's like we were just saying. There's just a lot of stuff happening. I wanted to record the beauty pageant. That was the same day as the paddleboard. Was that the same day as the paddleboard? It was something else going on. Anyway, when the beauty pageant was happening,
you had to go meet with the guys to interview them for the paddleboard.
That's right.
And they were doing the Salinas pageant.
Yeah, the Miss Salinas beauty pageant.
And it was kind of late. It was sort of like 8.
It didn't start till 8.
Yeah, 8 o'clock at night. He was already doing something, and I wasn't there. For example, it tells you to think of a formal sounding word in English. Hard, for instance, is difficult, difficile, or hard as endurable. Oh, dura.
Dura. Ah, yeah. Okay.
Just one thing from language.
Okay. Great. Yeah. I knew that already.
Whatever.
I knew that already.
And so, I guess you were talking about basically travel expectation, being safe.
That was in December.
How to stay safe.
We talked about staying safe, whether it be in Ecuador or anywhere around the world. We try to give our safety tips, things that we did. Of course, our advice only goes as far as it can. Anything can happen to anyone, but just stuff that we do to kind of try to stay as safe as possible. We don't take a lot of risk when we don't need to. Johnny, the trips. What we were saying earlier is that we're waiting on our new visas. So since we don't know exactly when it's going to be done, we can't plan anything yet. Even within the country, because we're going to have to go and get the new cedulars and stuff. So that's why we haven't made any actual plans. But believe me, they're coming as soon as we get our stuff taken care of.
And so, leading up to a couple weeks ago, we had a race car race.
Yeah.
That was actually around our building, right in front of our building.
Oh, that was the carts.
The kart
go-karts.
The go-kart race. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was so cool to see. They block off, and here in Salinas, because it's not very big, they block off streets. We don't really have a race track, so they are racing through the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And people come out and see it. It's obviously a thing, because
that was twice in less than a month that they closed off streets for a race.
And so the previous one, the car race, was behind us near Mar Bravo and the airport. This go-kart race was actually in front of our building and around our building.
Yeah.
And so, oh my gosh, it was so cool.
Yeah, having a bird's eye view of the rear part of the race, that was cool. And they had stands set up in certain corners. And so people just out in the street and just watching. And it was so fun. And that was the same day that I had to film the stand-up paddleboard competition, which also was awesome. Thanks to our buddy Michael. Hey, check that video out. Michael's a great paddleboard instructor here in Salinas. Good friend of ours. He's one of the best guys, y'all. But Yeah, so I had to film the stand-up paddleboard, and LaShawn kind
I
of tried to
stayed
film as
here
much of
and
the
got the go
yeah.
kart race, and it
So
was cool.
then she came to meet me up there, and then we came back down here, and the race was still going on. The race
Yeah,
didn't
the
stop until like 6:30, 7
7:30,
o'clock. Yeah,
7:30 that night.
yeah, and it was going to start at like 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was able to come back and see some of it. It was so cool. I can't wait till they do it again. Um, and hey, when stuff like that happens, they fix all the potholes. So the guys had to race somewhere, so they fixed all the potholes in the area. It was awesome.
And just last week we had the Christmas parade,
Yeah,
and of course that marks another event, a year
and there were
anniversary.
2 parades.
Was it 2 parades?
Yeah, remember there was the one like the tree lighting.
Oh yeah,
one.
yeah.
There was a tree lighting one. Yeah, see, there's so much stuff going on. We can't even remember it all. Yeah, it's not because we're old. But yeah, there was a tree lighting one that was kind of like later on in the day in the evening, and we went into the evening. That was really nice. A lot of schools participated, and then like the actual celebration that they do. I forgot what it's for exactly, so forgive me. But a lot of the schools practice,
Oh, you have schools from all over.
all
So
over.
you
Yeah,
have Mui. What was the other?
the Kennedy School. Like there's a bunch of schools around here, and they all have bands, and they all come out there and they have this parade during the day, and it's just really cool to see. They got the guys, the girls, and the instruments, and like the teachers and everything,
Yeah.
and they all represent. They all have a big flag for their school.
Now, are you talking about the recent one?
That's the recent one.
Okay, the previous one, when they were lighting the tree,
Yeah.
they had an actual concert that night.
Yeah.
We were trying to wait for them to light the tree, but it was,
It was just getting too late.
yeah, it was a little prolonged and extended.
Yeah.
But we left. But they did have a concert that night, and they did a lot of fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
so
lot of fireworks that
we
night.
missed that.
But yeah, then the next parade was the week that the kids get out of school before Christmas, and that's their Christmas parade, and that's awesome. We saw it last year, and it was awesome.
And I think that wraps
That pretty much wraps up the year. Like I said, there was the stand-up paddleboard competition. There was the race, the street race. You can check that out on the channel. It's called Street Race in Salinas. We have a lot, excuse me, that we know we want to do, but like we were saying, we have to wait for our paperwork to get done. Let's see. Oh, okay. Monty Gotes.
Oh yeah, it's been all over.
Monty Gotes. So if you get a chance to look at it, because I don't want to speak wrong when it comes to like history and stuff like that. But if you look up Monty Gotes in Google, you'll get a great history of why people burn them and what they're for, and it's MONIG OTES, Monty Gotes. We had one last year, like a little Superman that we threw in the fire. You burn them at midnight.
Yeah, it's supposed to like be for good luck and
to like burn away, things from the year before.
evil.
So there's like a politician you hate, you can get one of that. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. Because that's literally like what the definition for Monty Gotes. If you go to Google, that's traditionally they would like people that they wanted to be gone, like rid of them.
Oh.
Like that's what they would do.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what those things are. You see them tied to cars. You see like the really big ones tied to cars. You'll see some that are like 10 feet tall. Sometimes it's crazy.
Those were oh my gosh,
Yeah.
the ones they burned last year. That was so big.
It was insane. Those bonfires on the beach it was insane. It was awesome. I'm glad you said like pinata things. I knew exactly what you were talking about. Yeah, they are so cool. Manic Gote. Yeah, but you can type in MAN, like it's like MANI, but Google's gonna correct it to like MONI, Monty Gotes. Yeah. So yeah, that pretty much tied up 2023. We did a lot this year.
And it was great.
It was
I
awesome.
will say 2023 wasn't so bad. We did a lot of stuff, and hopefully 2024 brings better things and bigger things for us.
Yeah. We like we said, there's some things we want to do, some trips we want to take. There's some stuff that's going to be going on in the city, obviously, that we want to get footage of, and we're not here to tell anyone like, hey, you got to come to Salinas because it's the best place ever. That's not us. That's not us.
Because we don't do much, so we can't.
We're too boring to say something like that. We're just able to talk about our experience here, whether it be good or bad. For the most part, it's just been good so far. So,
and we're definitely going to see more of Ecuador.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it because what we've seen so far has been beautiful. And he wants to go to the Amazon. We want to go to Baños, Loja.
Yeah.
So, and we've seen pictures of Baños, and it looks beautiful especially with all the waterfalls.
Yeah, but that's not the kind of place I think I could be too long, because it's like cool and wet.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah.
Well, what about the Amazon? It's hot and humid.
Hold on, let me tell you something.
Oh, here we go.
I expect that in the Amazon. I expect it to be disgusting. Like
well,
when it comes
I'm not
to weather.
Going.
I fully expect it. It's like going to the Arctic. I fully expect it to be cold. All right. I have the expectation in my head. It doesn't bother me as much. Baños, I don't know. I haven't been there. I just know what people say. I haven't experienced it. But like, that's not the kind of place when I was young. Like, oh, I want to visit Baños. I didn't know it existed. The Amazon, that's different. I want to see a giant spider and some snakes and stuff like that. So we're gonna get there.
He's gonna get there.
I'm gonna get there.
Yeah, he will get there. I won't get there. I've been to some hotel waiting for him to come back.
Yeah, 100 miles away. Because the hotels in Amazon are like wild. Let's see.
Johnny said, "How do you plan to get around Ecuador? The buses really scare her."
Well, I mean, that makes sense. We've only done it once. And
it scared me.
It's scary for two reasons. One, like people rob buses. So you'd have to get a bus line that's not just like stopping everywhere to pick people up, because a lot of them will just stop. Someone just is on the road, they wave their hand, they pull over and stop and let the person on. Then they make them pay later. There are some that just do like direct. You're almost, if you want to just, now that is the cheapest route, like by far. If you're trying to save money, go that route. Otherwise, like, get a driver and do it that way. If riding on the mountains, that's the other scary thing about it. If you're not comfortable riding on a bus on the side of a mountain in the fog,
I'm that person. I'm not comfortable.
There's only two angles. It's 45 degrees this way or 45 degrees this way. That's what it seems like. It doesn't bother me. I was like enthralled by it. I'm trying to get video, but it was so foggy I couldn't see anything.
And you're going through these clouds too.
Yeah, and the bus will like pass people and stuff. It's on the road on the side of a mountain. So yeah, it's
so if
about
you see
what
those
you can
videos of buses doing these big turns on the side of the mountain, yeah, that we've experienced that.
Yeah. So yeah, I would, we would like get a driver, and
if I could just fly there,
right?
That works.
Like we were planning to go to Loja soon. Like we gotta wait, but we were planning to go to Loja soon. So there's an airport there. We was gonna take the airport from Guayaquil. Take the plane from Guayaquil to Loja. You could drive it. It's a long ride, but why? It's literally like the price of that plane ticket would be cheaper than the drive. Like paying for a driver. A bus, no. But paying for a driver would be cheaper. Like anywhere else.
Yeah, same way. We were the same in the States.
Where I need to go. I ain't got nothing to do. We just chill out, watch movies, and just have a good time to ourselves.
Yes, that's exactly how I felt. Especially when there was because on these roads there can be mudslides, roads can be blocked, and the bus decide he's going. They make this huge mound over next to the cliff for them to go over to go around the mudslide or the rocks. Yeah.
Yeah, and like there have been landslides where like the landslide itself pushes something off the road, like a car or a bus or whatever. So they do go off the road. So I don't even want to act like that don't happen. But one time experience, it's pretty cool for me. But like she was saying, like there's no reason for us to do it because we're not doing that much traveling where we're trying to save that much money. If that makes sense.
Well, it's not even about saving money. It's basically, if people want to see the country, you don't want to just fly over. You want to go on to take a bus ride.
Yeah.
And they want to see the country.
Will we doing a video when we go to Ohio? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the places I really want to visit. I heard it's beautiful out there. They got good coffee. And just, want to see as many places in the country as we can, especially places that have an airport nearby. That just makes it so much better.
And we want to go back to Cuenca for sure.
Absolutely.
I don't know when. I just have to make sure I can tolerate
The altitude.
the altitude.
Yeah.
Well, I did for
Keto.
We were there for a week, right?
7 days, yeah.
Yeah, so I managed to do that in Quito, so I should be able to manage in Cuenca.
Yeah. Loja's a little lower elevation, anyone who doesn't know. It's a little lower than Cuenca, I think by like 1,000 or so feet, maybe more. But yeah, Cuenca, if you're not used to altitude, it's around like 8,000 or so feet, and Quito's around 9. So that can definitely be a problem.
And one of the things I know that if you're in Cuenca, maybe Manta, just depending on if you're trying to cook beans.
Oh yeah, the altitude affects
how they come out.
How things
They
cook.
be hard,
Yeah.
and I haven't had that issue here being on the coast. When I cook beans, they turn out soft and edible.
We cook a lot. We eat out some, but we cook a lot. Maybe you can run into us when we get to Cuenca. Oh, absolutely. We'll do rock paper scissors to see who takes who out to dinner. Winner pays, or roll some dice.
Play some gin rummy.
Some gin rummy, yeah. Hey, we started playing gin rummy this year. I never played gin rummy. She taught me.
I taught him how to play gin rummy, and he gets beat every time.
Not every time.
Every time he's spanking him.
Not every time. YouTube video bus rides are lacking. We would try to record our ride from Monte to Cuenca with our little dog. Yeah, please.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful because, like we said, there have been some robberies on the bus. So you want to make sure you focus on your personal items and keep an eye on your personal items. Now, we haven't had the experience, like we said, we only rode once, but we have had people talk about people stealing their bags and phones and stuff. So just be careful.
Yeah. Yeah, as with what we talk, as with anything. But absolutely, those videos are lacking. So if you get a good video from bus ride, please share it because I want to see it. Before I forget, if you're interested to go to our little merch shop, we got some shirts on there, some mugs. We got one here, some mugs. Just help support us. We really appreciate it. You go to Patreon or memberships here on YouTube. You go to memberships.
And I did make our shirt up there on our merch channel. So if you want one of these, it's available.
Yeah. But like I said, 2023 was great.
And we want to thank all of our subscribers and newcomers to our channel. It's been great, and we definitely enjoy making these videos for you.
Yep.
And then showing our experience, our journey.
And look forward. We just recently did a video with Jennifer, who does a dog rescue here in Salinas. She has a YouTube channel. It's called Ecuador Street Dog Rescue. Check that out. That video will be coming out next week. Great interview. She's awesome. She's so funny. But yeah, lot to come. Stay tuned to the channel. We'll try to do more lives. I don't know why we don't do it more often, honestly. I guess we don't have anything to talk about because we're so boring. We got to get like H&D. I don't know if y'all still here, but we got to get like y'all. So y'all got subjects every week. And I can't plan that much.
Oh, we definitely love space.
Yeah, but we just don't. Since we're not ever around anybody.
Yeah, we can't play with each other. We'll know each other's hands. But if there's content that you would like to see, please leave it in the comment field.
We're doing what we do. So maybe I'll put some polls out there for like topics that I might, because I brainstorm topics sometimes and I don't know if they're working or not. And then sometimes I just don't feel like doing it. So maybe I'll put some polls out there if anyone wants to like vote on something that we do next.
Or just if you want to know something about Ecuador, we would definitely try to get information for you.
Yeah.
If you want to know anything about Salinas, please let us know. And also Cuenca, we got friends in Cuenca and Manta.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vilcamba.
Vilcabamba.
I can never
You
say
can
the
never
word.
say it.
Oh my goodness! I made it a new word, a new town.
But yeah, thank y'all for coming. Everyone who's here, everyone who sees us in the future. I'm speaking from the past. If anyone's watching us in the future, thank you. Check our other channels out. Sean's is on the porch. ONTHA.
I don't have
porch.
anything specific I talk about. I just talk about whatever I
Hey.
want to talk about at the time. So that's just how I feel. And they about to start all these
fireworks going on right now.
But we want to wish everyone a happy New Year.
Yeah.
And for those that we did not, see before Christmas, Merry
Christmas.
Belated Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you.
Yep. So thank y'all for watching.